Hey there everybody, it's Mecha Draco coming to you with another video, and in today's video we're going to go over a interesting subject about gaming being classified as a bit of a disorder. Now, it's not so much that gaming in general is going to be is a disorder or something along those lines. It's a little bit more along the lines of just over an abundance of gaming is a disorder. Apparently, the World Health Organization has decided to actually do this. That actually set forth this kind of claim that gaming can be classified as such. Their rulings on it have been a little bit, let's say, vague. And I'm not really entirely positive if I entirely agree with it, but at the same time, I myself am a bit of a gamer, and I can't disagree with the overall assessment. However, my opinion on the subject kind of falls on the lines of where exactly does it all fall? I mean, the fact is that, there are several different things out there that have been claimed as an addiction, as a disorder, and other things like that, that we never used to consider disorders, that we never used to consider an addiction. So isn't there a possibility that this itself could be an addiction? However, at the same time, I find myself curious as to whether or not the addiction to gaming or the actual disorder of gaming isn't just more of a byproduct of a bigger, more important issue. And covering it up by saying that gaming is the issue is more of just a political run for some kind of agenda to push gaming away from other people or younger people or something else along those particular lines. So let's go ahead, before I get too rambly or anything like that, let's go ahead and actually go and look at the website, the World Health Organization's website that starts to actually classify gaming as a disorder. So as you can see here, we have gaming disorder, the World Health Organization here. This page will in fact be linked in the description box below, so if you'd like to take a look at it yourself, feel free to do so. So let's go ahead and just start reading it off a little bit and just see what we can see here. All right. So to start off with, it says, what is gaming disorder? A gaming disorder is defined by the draft 11th revision of the International Classification of Diseases, ICD-11, as a pattern of gaming behavior, digital gaming or video gaming, characterized by impaired control over gaming, increasing priority given to gaming over other activities to the extent that gaming takes precedence over other interests and daily activities, and continuation of escalation of gaming despite the occurrence of negative consequences. Great example of this, I think, would be individuals who actually have worked on games and done games so much so to the point where they actually die in the middle of gaming. There have been actual several cases of this, such as with World of Warcraft, I believe, was a first example of such a case. But I believe there have been many other occasions where this has occurred. But the fact is that is probably one of the biggest examples of that. I really don't know necessarily 100% if that is the case, like if that would necessarily be a great example of this disorder, but that seems to be the most reasonable explanation for this kind of a disorder, or most reasonable example of this particular type of disorder. For gaming disorder to be diagnosed, the behavior pattern must be of sufficient severity to result in significant impairment in personal, family, social, educational, occupational, or other important areas of functioning, and would normally have been evident for at least 12 months. So I can't obviously say that seems like a pretty reasonable assessment. I mean, after 12 months, if you are seeing that an individual cannot hold themselves capable of personal, family, social, educational, occupational, blah, 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 duties, then obviously that would be a great example of that. However, this seems to me, as it's been mentioned before, that this seems to me like this is just a classification of an addiction, not really so much of a disorder. You can classify almost everything under this as an addiction, not a disorder. And I don't think anybody will argue that you can't or won't or shouldn't be or wouldn't be addicted to gaming. I think anybody can say that, because I believe it's possible for you to be addicted to, well, just about anything, really. So it's hard to say that this alone is a classification for a disorder, because it feels like it's a little bit more like a classification of addiction. But let's go ahead and move on. Why is gaming disorder being included in ICD-11? A decision on inclusion of gaming disorder in ICD-11 is based on reviews of available evidence and reflects a consensus. Of experts from different disciplines and geographical regions that were involved in the process of technical consultations undertaken by WHO in the process of ICD-11's development. The inclusion of gaming disorder in ICD-11 follows the development of treatment programs for people with health conditions identical to those characteristics of gaming disorder in many parts of the world, and will result in the increased attention of health professionals to the risk of development of this disorder, and according to relevant prevention and treatment measures. So, big mouthful there, do apologize. But I want to say that with that particular classification there and with that particular paragraph there, why I want to kind of comment on that one is because, again, going back to the original paragraph here at the top, it seems to me like it's classifying this as more of an addiction than it is as a disorder. And I feel like it's dangerous in its own way to classify this as a disorder, like a mental disorder, when something like this exists, because of the fact that I fear that it might be taking over or hiding behind an actual disorder. Like there might be an actual disorder that already exists that could explain these issues, that could explain why someone would do this kind of thing, why someone would play a video game so much to the point to where they would ignore their own needs and kill themselves effectively. So, I don't know. Now, I'm not saying at the same time, I'm trying to keep an open mind in this situation. I'm trying to keep an open kind of concept on this particular disorder. I myself even feel like perhaps at times I'm susceptible to this, but at the same time, that might just be, that whole, WebMD disorder where you read something and you think you've got it, kind of thing. And I can totally agree with that. But again, at the same time, though, I can't say that justifiably that this is completely incorrect. I mean, if the World Health Organization is really looking into this, perhaps there's some merit behind it. I don't know if there's any nefarious reasons behind it or why there would be any nefarious reasons behind it. So I can't really justifiably say that it's bad. Maybe there is some actual validity to it. There's a little bit more here at the bottom here. Should all people who engage in gaming be concerned about developing gaming disorder? Studies suggest that gaming disorder affects only a small proportion of people who engage in digital or video gaming activities. However, people who partake in gaming should be alert to the amount of time they spend on gaming activities, particularly when it is so to the exclusion of other daily activities, as well as to any changes in their physical or psychological health and social functioning that could be attributed to their pattern of gaming behavior. Okay, so I can definitely agree with that. Now, I could certainly see this being something that would say, look, you need to be a little bit more aware of your gaming habits. And maybe in the long run, that's all they're really trying to do, but I feel like classifying this as a disorder might be a little bit much just to get people to be a little bit more mindful of their own gaming habits. So, I don't know. Definitely if you want to keep an eye on this particular subject, I guess we'll see a little bit more about this in mid-2018 when they actually start introducing this to the ICD-11. That's going to be introduced then, and I guess we can pick it up again there. Definitely leave comments in the comment box below to let me know what you guys think about this particular subject, and I definitely want to hear what you guys' opinion on this particular subject is, and I'm trying my best, like I said, to keep an open mind on this particular subject, so I strongly urge you guys to do the same thing, because this is probably this could very well be a very big deal at some point down the line, so definitely want to, look in this as thoroughly as possible. All right, well, guys, I'm going to go ahead and leave the video there. I certainly hope you guys enjoyed. Again, try to keep an open mind and leave comments in the box below about your opinion on this particular subject, because I would love to hear your opinion. We can have a nice little discussion about it. I'm going to go ahead, like I said, leave the video there. I certainly hope you guys liked. If you did, you guys know the drill by now. Go on and hit that like button if you liked it. If you really liked it, go on and hit that share button. Of course, if you loved it and you haven't already, go on and hit that subscribe button. And of course, as always, guys, good luck out there. Don't forget to have fun.